Al Dutcher is off this week. In place of his weekly weather forecast, we talked Thursday morning with Martha Shulski, Nebraska State climatologist and the director of the Nebraska State Climate Office. Martha, going back to last month, can you recap April weather?
Sure. For April, the big story of the month was the precipitation, the rainfall that we had, as well as snowfall in western Nebraska. And we were third wettest on record for the state, behind 1984 and 1920. And we were a little bit warmer than normal for temperatures.
Can you describe some of the severe weather we've seen across the state?
Yeah, it's been pretty interesting the last few days. So May 8th, we had an outbreak in central Nebraska. We had confirmed tornadoes and hail reports as well. And in eastern Nebraska on May 9th, and here in Lincoln even, we had tornadic activity, as well as a lot of damage from hail. That was probably the bigger factor in terms of damage as opposed to the tornadoes. And I did see my first tornado ever, so that was very interesting.
How have those heavy rains impacted stream flows?
Yes, stream flows are running above normal or near flood stage or at flood stage, both in the western parts of the state along the Platte and North Platte and South Platte, and in eastern Nebraska along the Missouri in particular, where it's at or above flood stage.
So is this a level of concern, and what does it mean when more snowpack enters those rivers?
Right. So Lake McConaughey is about 89% of maximum capacity at the moment. They are doing some releases now due to snowmelt that's already started in the Rockies and rains that they've received in Wyoming. So we can expect kind of a bump in flow along the Platte. And snowmelt in the Rockies was above normal for this year, impacting us. And so we can start to see when the big snowmelt happens that we can see those rivers impacted.
Perhaps an obvious question, but what's the update on drought and soil conditions?
Yes, so as you would expect, there is no abnormal dryness or drought conditions in Nebraska currently.
What's the outlook for next week?
So for next week, maybe something that people don't want to hear in terms of getting into the field, continued wet, it looks like an active weather pattern, and probably cooler than normal temperatures.
What's the update on the transition from El Nino to La Nina?
Right, so we're kind of descending fairly rapidly out of a pretty strong El Nino event, probably going into neutral conditions and then transitioning to a La Nina event by mid to late summer. And if we look at temperature and precipitation conditions, so an increased chance for warmer than normal temperatures beginning in late summer and continuing actually through the fall. And for precipitation, an increased chance for dryness in mid to late summer.